Hello.
Hello. So, welcome to DBAs at Midnight.
The teaching,
Ranting,
coughing,
blogging,
talking head,
techie so you can work show. That's the key. You can do it at half speed.
You don't know how hard it was for me not to interrupt that.
Son of a bitch. So, welcome to DBAs at Midnight. This is season 3, Thrace, episode 18. Would you like to know what season 3, episode 18 was of Family Guy? Don't look.
Sí, pero me llamo Juan.
Okay, Juan, je suis Jen.
And
J'ai
behind,
oublié le nom.
and behind the curtain, Fredward.
We have no...
I'm waving.
Yeah.
He is waving. Here, I'll show you.
No waving soundbite.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah. Now I screwed up the intro. It's tradition. Family Guy, Season 3, Episode 18 is From Method to Madness. Stewie becomes a stage star and Meg falls for a nudist.
I remember that episode.
I don't. Oh my god, every time I watch them with Kiddo in the room, I regret it. How do they get that stuff on TV?
You know?
Holy shit!
I don't know.
Anyway, alright, so what the hell are we talking about this week? We gotta... This is a very special episode of DBAs at Midnight. We got one big topic. One big one.
You're blocking my camera time.
But we can start with a few little ones just to warm up, just get everybody in the mood,
I'm so tired of girls telling me that.
Just fit one or two little things in.
Yeah.
You got anything that you want to
Never
start
gets
with?
old.
I got stuff.
I didn't even bring up my set list because you said that your thing was going to take up the entire show.
That's not what I said.
It is too.
I said
it's exactly what
most
you said.
of the show.
But
while you're talking, I'll say post-pass wrap up. I've actually got a few post-pass items. First up, I put up Kaylin's interview on the YouTubes.
Oh yeah.
Because I know we're
Kaylin, was you here?
Way behind on videos, and I know you've been busy. So
yeah, I've been thinking about getting them up though.
That's what she said. On YouTube, youtube.com/midnightdba. It's about a 20-minute interview, really good interview. MVP Deep Dives sold out of both orders. That was 306 sold at pass.
Don't forget you're on camera, Wes.
Yeah, he's doing that on purpose. To distract you. Thanks a lot. We've got a Google Hangout going on right now. And my review of parts 1 and 2 of MVP Deep Dives 2 is up on itbookworm.com. You should go check it out. I got more stuff, but what you got?
.com.
Hey, we do that.
I've only got real topics. And I'm not saying you don't. I'm just saying I don't have any fluff.
Do you have any idea how dismissive that is?
No, I've only got way.
Serious news items. So
I know.
Why don't we just get on with your bullshit, Jen?
No. But you know what I mean. I don't have any real fluff. I mean, look at what I got. I don't have any real
Past
fluff.
recap. Yeah, that's real technical.
Shut up. That's a real topic.
That last one we should wait a little bit. If we've got time, we'll stick it in the end.
Yeah. Want me to stick it in the end?
Yeah. Well, if we have time.
Okay.
All right. So if you got nothing, I got more stuff. Well, we do have an announcement. Would you like to make this announcement that is on the thing?
Sure.
Oh, for God's sakes!
Catchphrase.
Catchphrase.
Let me read through it first.
Why don't just read? Read.
Well, no, because it's written to us. Okay, I'll tell you what. I'll just read you an email we got because this is a DBAs at Midnight exclusive. We are scooping everyone in the world.
What does that mean?
Hey, I just read the news. I don't write it.
All right, carry on.
Okay. So Alan Hurt, that's with an H-I-R-T, not an H-U-R-T, because that would just hurt. Is doing a new sequel 2012 book for Mission Critical. It is going to be self-published. The last publisher he talked to liked it, but was only looking to launch their sequel titles, so they need something a little less niche, right?
That's what the world needs. More general database books.
So as of now, he's thinking ebook only, which is fine for me. I don't do a lot of physical books. Yes.
Thank you.
Because of the proposed size of the book. If he does do a print run, it'll be short, limited, and most likely quite expensive. Ebooks, the ebook keeps the cost down, and people can print what they want. I know that may disappoint people who want a physical book, but I also need to keep it affordable. He is also working on another book idea, which may get done before the Mission Critical book is done. That may be picked up by a publisher. It's in the proposal stage, so I guess he's proposing it right now.
Do you have a ring?
Do you have a ring?
You should consider getting a ring.
So anyway, that is my fabulous announcement. We are going to see a Mission Critical 2012, what I'm still calling Denali. I don't work for MS Marketing, so I can do that.
He'll call it Denali till the end of time. He'll call it Denali till the end of time.
Yeah, which camera are we on?
2. Well, I thought we were on 2. We were almost on 2.
And then you missed.
We're not sure which camera.
We'll just keep talking to
I'll
both
look
of you.
straight up.
And
I'll just look at you.
So
and that way I'm ignoring each camera equally.
Alright, so let's check in with the chat room before I begin talking.
I'll tell you what's really cool though is to watch us do the show and to watch Wes just sit there all deadpan and everything and not caring about anything we say. Just sitting there going, there you go. You know what? If you recognize something as supposed to be a joke, at least pretend to laugh so that we
This is the first time we've had anybody but Freddie, actually like facing us. We've had people in the seats next to us, but we've got Wes just staring right at us. And I can almost see myself in your glasses. Scooping everyone else in the world in my mouth, says Nick.
Still not old.
No, it's not. How heavy will the ebook be? Will it fit in my bag? In my mouth. Okay, so...
See, that just doesn't work.
Okay, so meet paperback ebook. Let's see. Include applause.h. I like that. SP1 will be... I don't know what you're talking about. Okay.
So, I've got a question.
Tell me your question.
If Alan writes an ebook on Sequel 2012, does that mean that that's the last version of Sequel? Because he stopped writing right then? If we're going by like the Mayan calendar, the world's going to end because they ran out of room on that stone. So, if he stops writing about Sequel...
then there will never
be another version of Sequel.
Well, I've actually read over that whole Mayan calendar end of the world thing, and it's because of their number system. Did you ever actually read up on it at all?
Yeah. And I've seen a number of specials. Anyway, I'm going to take a little tea break.
You take a tea break, and I'm going to get into our big topic. So I got a fair amount of
I hate you. Why can't you just fucking pour?
Acclaim today.
Why can't you just pour?
Would you stop for a minute and get the plate and put it under it? Seriously, dude.
Well, I've got stuff in both my hands.
Yeah,
I'm just so glad we're on camera 2 for this.
All right, but it's got a spout. Why won't it just pour?
Because of your mother. Now.
My mother's not causing it to not pour.
No, baby, no, because it spilled.
It's going. Yeah, I see what you're saying now. I'll be over here. Keep talking. You're stopping the show.
Airtime.
Quality.
Just getting better.
You have the show go.
And better and better.
It's got stuff in there. You have to pour it all out now. Will you just go through your topic, and I'll get the tea in a minute?
Okay, Sean has apparently gone retarded. So we're going to take a station break while we get ourselves back together. Okay, can I now continue?
I never told you to
Or are
stop.
you going to continue shouting at the tea?
I told you to keep going.
While you were shouting at the tea.
I told you to keep going.
We've got an interview to do. Can I get through this so we can get to our interview?
Sure.
Okay.
I never told you to stop. In fact, I specifically told
Sean,
you to keep
shut
going.
up. Make him shut up. Make him shut up. Switch to the shut up camera. For fuck's sake. Okay, so last week was Past Summit. This week we had a few things happen. We had Sequel Idiot, we had Sequel Sue, we had a couple of other things actually. Round about Thursday I tweeted, man, things are really starting to go downhill. And Buck thought that was absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, he loves other people's misery.
So here we go. I hear, a few days ago, Adam Mechanic tweets, discovered that a training company is making threats to everyone who dares present on the same topics they do. And I said, that sounds like a story. So, after a bit of a tweet storm, I better go ahead and get this early. After a bit of a tweet storm, I wrote to some of the involved parties, and I said, I understand that you have email chains. I would very much like to get a hold of these email chains with full protection for you, of course. And Adam said, fuck it, here's the email. Alrighty then. And an anonymous source...
Aw, gold.
Aw, gold. And an anonymous source on the Past Summit side of things sent me the email that they received, so I was able to get both sides of the picture. As it turns out, it was...
The other side was just the backing?
As it turns out, it was... You know, it's not a waste, but the company that is doing this posted all that stuff. But I now have verification that they did post the stuff accurately. So here we go, right?
Yeah, sure, right? Because that helps.
And I'm presenting this largely in the order that I received it. So the emails. This email is dated September 16th of this year. This was sent to a member of the past board of directors. And we've got a few redactions here that'll be clear. Dear Harold and Kumar, knowing that you are one of the myriad flunkies associated with Sequel Pass, I'm kindly asking you to help me in the below described manner. Thank you very much, and regards, Carmen. The subject is clarification about possible plagiarism. A lot of stuff to go through here, folks, but there's a purpose. There's a reason. There's a plan. Dear summit organizers, they thank them for organizing such a great summit. However, I've noticed one spotlight session abstract that partially resembles concept we explored and published in 2010 via technical webcasts. The session is called Query Tuning Mastery Zen and the Art of Workspace Memory. That's Atom Mechanics' session that we attended and very much enjoyed. How interesting. So, it says, I contacted Adam Mechanic, the speaker who also viewed our webcasts, that was in 2010, last year, and commented on them in Twitter, asking him if he will also cover concepts from these webcasts in his upcoming session. Now remember, this was sent back in September. Instead of giving me an answer, he replied that he never sat through any of our trainings. When I reminded him of the webcast, he still didn't answer and started asking me other questions back. I'm coming to you with a request to help in this matter. Here, this is the important part. Surely Sequel Pass also has an interest in maintaining the intellectual property of individuals and companies and does not want to support any plagiarism. Okay, hands up who the words intellectual property and plagiarism. I want to see a hand, Wes.
I think I heard it.
It'll be on a delay.
I want to see both your hands, Wes.
Here's what you asked for.
Both your hands and no face.
All I want at this stage is to help me get a clear answer from the speaker whether or not our concepts will be part of his presentation. I'm sure we can resolve this matter objectively and gracefully, blah, blah, blah. Right? Okay, so Adam's email, he got on October 10th, nearly a month later, and the week of the past summit. Right? I'm writing to you because it was brought to my attention that you made a series of libelous statements concerning the webcast that we published partnering with PASS in 2010. Libelous statements that has jack shit to do with what you were emailing PASS about. And by the way, your February 2010 webcast, I said something bitchy about it, and you're now contacting me in October of 2011. Fucking what? This is me talking.
Yeah, sure.
So let's see. So those defaming statements of yours on Twitter include serious case of multiple disorder personality, as well as future mass murderer, deterring others from watching the webcasts, and the affirmation that you would go insane at the end of the week after attending our workshop. And she names the speaker, which I'm not going to attempt to mangle the name. The speaker of the webcast, nor me, or anyone else in the entire world, have any history of mental disease, nor do we have any criminal record. So at this point in the email...
He thinks you protest too much.
Yeah, no shit. They give Adam the high feedback scores from the 2011 June workshop, I guess on the same topic. A little bit of a scattered argument here, but we're not going to hold that against them. Some people can't make a clear argument. But fine. Right now, you're just bitching about the defamation thing. I do not think that a mentally disturbed teacher or person with a criminal intent could receive such feedback. Nor could they make up numbers and send them to somebody in email. Is my comment. To get to the bottom line, we're always open to constructive criticism, blah, blah. We retain the right to defend ourselves against defamation and mindless slander or libel. Then they go on to outline Adam's credentials, saying he's a bigwig and a prominent member of the sequel community with more than 2,000 followers on Twitter. Okay, so he's a bigwig, sure. The unfair competition you started with these statements are harmful to Sequel Consulting GmbH's images and caused us financial loss.
The problem with a lawsuit is you have to be able to quantify the loss. You can't just say, well, I know that we've been doing one training every 3 months for the last 3 years, but this is the month that we projected we would do $1 million, and you have to be able to quantify that loss, and if you can't, then they're not going to award you much, if anything at all.
Before this date, we had every single class was attended, and we made $1 million per, and then after that we made $10 per, and it's all your fault.
Describe the nature of the butt hurt.
Thank you. So here, this is another key sentence for me. I am writing you to see if we can find a reasonable solution on our own. Can you suggest ways how the damage to our business caused by your action could be recompensed?
Now, I like this. I heard for it to be libel, it needs to be false. Are they sure they'll never be mass murderers?
Oh, dear. Ted Bundy got 9s across the board as feedback. Well done, well done. Yeah, money. There's not a single one of us that can read that and not think money. They want money. Because financial loss, recompense. There's nothing else that could possibly mean. So you bitch.
It could mean they want Adam to go on and pimp their courses now.
So you bitch to the board because he's stealing your content, your intellectual property, as you termed it, and you are complaining to Adam, probably in a last-ditch effort to scare him, not to give his talk because he talked bad about something on the internet.
What do you see what I say about you on the internet next week?
No shit. All right, so...
Or on the show.
So Adam goes on and replies, and I do want to read the rest of this chain because it's actually quite good, but I want to go back. I'm going to travel back in time. Make the sound with me. Thank you. So back in 2010, we've got this big thing. They actually went and posted the tweets that they're referring to, where Adam called them mass murderers and such. And so I went and I looked at that training. The reason that Adam was going on about what a big piece of shit, and piece of shit is my word, this is that if you go and you watch the training, and I will post the link for this, it's sequelworkshops.com, but it takes a little bit of doing to find the actual thing.
Yeah, you really do.
If you go out and find this, he's going through and he's explaining a query this and a thing that, and you can see an execution plan that. And he stops himself and he says, and I was asked a question by Mr. JLH. This is the presenter in the middle of this training session says this. And we're like, okay, so he's going to tell us his story now. No problem. Common thing, right? Mr. JLH asked me how to improve his SQL Server knowledge. And I told him books and conferences, and also to join a user group. JLR, not JLH. That's Jennifer Love Hewitt. Sorry. Don't sue me for libel.
I was like, JLH.
Mr. JLR asked which to join. And I said join a user group that is democratic, with a leader that is democratically elected and makes plans based on user feedback. And he just goes on and on and on, and you're like, what the fuck? And Mr. JLH asked me for an example, and he told me to go to sequelpass.org. And then he types it in, and he takes us to SQLpass, and he starts to weave this sort of conspiracy theory from the point of Mr. JLR that SQLpass, two of the people on the board of directors, are associated with SQL Serverpedia, which is with Quest, and they're associated with a third person, which is a business partner, and it's all a big thing. And I told him that many people are associated, and one should not worry. And back to the query, and it was like, bug.
Big bug. Little bug.
So, yeah, and apparently that happens a lot. Just randomly going, la 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 la. So, that's what started the whole thing. I'm going to take a break and read this. Should I sue anyone that talks about clustering? Yeah, part of the tweet storm was actually quite a lot of fun. Let's go back and read the tweet storm, shall we?
Well, hold on.
Go ahead.
But I want to comment that I was listening to this as well, and it was actually quite fun to hear him in the middle of talking about TempDB performance, right? Here's a query TempDB, here's a query TempDB. By the way, here's a weird rant about Pass's conspiracy, and let's take a look at this other query. It was just completely out of left field, and even I was sitting there going, what the hell?
Well, and now for something completely different.
So look forward to my post next week on how not to
deliver training.
How not to deliver a training video.
Yeah.
Something I have a lot of experience with.
Yeah. And go ahead, please.
That reminds me of another one that I haven't talked about in a long time. But there's a training. There's a training company called Sequel USA, and they sent me their training a long time ago. It was a binder with lots of CDs in it, and the guy actually, in the middle of his training, stopped to run internet searches to show you how to search for something. Well, and you might be asking yourself, what kinds of things are there out there on this topic? Well, let's go see. And he got on Yahoo or Google and ran a search and just started browsing different sites. Okay, that one didn't have much. Let's go to this one. Okay, you can see here they do that. Okay, that's okay. Now let's go to this one. I'm sitting there going, you want people to pay like $1,700 for this piece
to
of
watch
shit?
You surf the net?
Yeah, are you kidding
Let's see
me?
how we can find the best porn. Now that actually might be worth reading.
Yeah. Where's the other hand?
But it was the only training since I've been reviewing training, which has been a long time, right? That I have given something a 1 star and said, stay away from this as fast as you can.
You cost them money.
I hope so.
You should be sued.
They're pathetic.
That's the funny thing. You've got a number of things going wrong with this. First off, of course, the obvious, what the fuck are you doing? Why can't you make a cogent argument and stick with it? And then there's the whole concept of trying to copyright concepts about a product made by Microsoft, which owns the copyright on every thought all of their developers have since inception. I mean, conception, not inception. Inception was a movie, very recent. Not too bad. You can't copyright concepts. And one of the things they go out and they pull the Wikipedia.
Here, Janice is here.
Hey,
Dude.
Janice. Let's see if we've got anything, and then we'll go back. Sequel USA is even worse than Sequel Workshops. Oh, good times.
But it's got a patriotic name.
Yes.
Yeah.
America.
Why do you hate America?
I know, right?
I know. Well, I'm not going to say he's not America, but he's not American, but he has a very thick accent, which also makes him hard to understand.
So we're back to the email, which is like right at the start of the past summit.
I prefer longer accents myself. Better than thicker.
It's how you use it.
I get that.
So anyway, I love Adam's replies, and this is part of why I'm reading the whole thing, is because, dude, I just like you. I like how you handle your shit. So, after they ask him for money, he says, how about the damage you did to me by using my name libelously in your video? I feel that it caused me financial loss. Note, please consider all future communications with me to be public. I reserve the right to blog, tweet, forward, or otherwise publish any communication from you from now on. That is awesome. You don't have to inform anybody, to my knowledge, if they're communicating with you, that you can make it public. But you did it anyway, and they still wrote back. So they replied, and they argued about libelous statements. We didn't libel you, we only repeated what you said, thing and the thing. And they say, how could your own statements be considered libelous and cause you financial loss? On the other hand, your defamatory statements, I'm probably saying that wrong, defamatory, were completely false, because he called them mass murderers, which I still hope we can find a solution.
DSF thinks Burleson's behind all this.
So, I still think we can find a solution. Anybody else think that's code for give us money? Since the end of their last thing demanded recompense as a solution. So Adam goes back and rereads his own tweets, which again are posted, and I'll put the link up, and he refutes her claims. He says, having now reread my tweets, I am happy to note that I never said Ramesh was a future mass murderer. I said that watching the video might help someone understand that thought process. Clearly not an attack on him. SQL Server is a frustrating product that can make us all feel violent from time to time. My statement about going crazy, my opinion of what my own reaction might be. I can't stand sitting in classes. I'm inferring your tone, Adam. And the MPD statements, MPD is multiple personality disorder, for those of you not in the know. I said relatively certain. You see, I was very concerned about Ramesh when he abruptly switched topics during the video. I'm so glad he's feeling better now.
I know, right?
Your videos embarrassed me by highlighting in a very public forum my failure to be appointed to the past board. This resulted in numerous questions and rumors, and I am still working hard to recover my image. I agree with you that it would be great if we could find a fair way for you to compensate me. And that was kind of the end of their conversation via email. So the tweet storm, Jeff summed it up nicely. Company thinks it can copyright concepts in training sessions, wrote letters to pass, and Adam getting a public flogging now. So Paul Randall says, so by the same logic, anyone who's watched a video on anything we've presented can't present it in the future? What bullshit.
I know most of my material comes from like Wes and
I pretty much just
and Alan and
just crib everyone directly, and that's a different topic.
I mean, my backup session is directly from Wes. I mean,
do you want to get sued?
The Shinnin. So Adam says apparently his abstract on a similar topic to the top sequel is enough to call that intellectual property theft. And after that, they're like, we never said intellectual property theft. Well, no, you never said it to Adam, but you said it to the past board. And then you published in your blog your letter to the past board where you bitched about intellectual property.
The thing that gets me, and this is like my biggest thing, is they're claiming theft of someone else's IP. Because they didn't write sequel. They didn't come up with these concepts. It's Microsoft's IP, and they're claiming monetary compensation for somebody else's IP that they're talking about.
Oh, and valid point. Adam's on here, and he says the tweet storm I started was due to their spamming the sequel pass hashtag during my session, then using a variant of my session title in their tweets. Put me right over the edge.
Oh yeah.
I don't blame you, dude. Yeah, I went back and looked, and during his session, they were just blam 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 blam.
Were they in the room?
No, but they knew when it was. I don't think they were on there. Dude, I steal it from user group members. So, did you notice, Gail Shaw said, do you notice they charge as much for a 3-day course as Paul Randall does for a 5-day? And Grant Fritchie says, no, I figure if I looked at the $, I wouldn't be able to use money anymore. And after that, everybody started copywriting everything they could think of. I think Tim Ford got sarcasm, Jess Borland got squee, and I got that's what she said. So, we're set.
So
sorry, I got the copyright on masturbation.
No one got that. You're in. Everybody owes him lots of money.
No, dude, I've had that for years. Either that or I owe you a lot of money. So
I'll give the family discount.
I'd like to set up a tab. So because of all this, what camera are we on?
You want to meet them at camera 2?
Do we not have a new award to present tonight?
Actually, I believe we do have a new award, because one of the things that I neglected to mention was, in the course of all this, and again, the name of the company is SequelWorkshops.com. I wrote Sequel Workshop, and I said, very politely, I believe that you're in a thing, I said it better than this in the email, it's late.
I believe that you're in a thing with the guy at the place.
I got a web show, we'd love to have you on to hear your side of the story, and they politely declined, and they said, no, we're going to be putting out a blog that explains everything. And they sure did. They put out a 2,700-word blog that copied and pasted absolutely everything and put their side of the story and made about there's not a straight line argument through it. And we've kind of refuted everything that they've said here. So, since they turned down the opportunity to speak up for themselves,
we have an award.
We have an award. Excuse me, and I'll get the award. Sean, take it away.
Well, we've developed a special award for them, and I believe, yes, go ahead, bring it on up.
There you go.
We have the... you should turn it over like that.
Other way, yeah, sorry.
Like that. There we go.
So what award is this, Sean?
This is the Slightly Used Tampon Award.
Don't you
for
just
our
love
friends at Sequel Workshop.
Guys. Workshops.
Yes, Sequel Workshops. My mistake.
Thank you. So good you get your own brand new kind of award.
Now,
oh.
I know, right? No blood like old blood.
Here, you want some of this?
So, since we invited them to come speak, and they refused, then we thought we would just
interview the award
again,
like we do.
So
get down here.
Because we really want to talk to them, right?
Am I in shot?
So
let's get closer.
Adam, for you, we are going to talk to this giant tampon in person. So we can find out what the hell the problem is.
And if there are any questions from the chat room, go right ahead.
Yeah. Shout out your questions if you want.
Okay, so you wanna take it away?
Well, I've got but one real question because I have no problem with somebody protecting their IP.
Okay.
But the question I've got for you, oh, giant used tampon award.
Slightly used.
Yes, slightly used tampon. Cause yeah, it is only something. Yeah, I know, right? How is it that you are claiming compensation for someone else's IP? That doesn't make sense to me. It's not even your IP. Would you mind?
It's my concept.
Your concept?
It's my concept, my title. I did this presentation last year in September. It's clearly something I've done. I own this.
Well,
okay, but I'm not the first one to talk about backups, and so therefore, should I have to compensate somebody else who's ever talked about backups before?
You see,
like
JR,
Paul,
he asked me in my presentation about the Chinese going to the moon.
What?
And you see, I just don't know when they get up there. I think they're going to send me viruses to my phone.
What the hell are you talking
about? But back
about?
to your point.
Are you going?
I did this
did
first.
You go crazy and fall down?
You did it. That's your point. Is you did it. Okay, so the answer is that you did it first. But I gotta say, I think it was kind of a dickish move to email the past board of directors complaining about Adam's session, and then email Adam complaining that he defamed you. I mean, you're kind of arguing two completely different things.
Well, I just think it's important to protect,
right,
as an individual in my company, my intellectual property concepts, and I think Sequel Pass also has that. Because when I was at Sequel Pass,
right,
out the window, there were squirrels playing merrily, and I need to protect that.
So okay, hold on a sec. Barring all of that, because this whole thing has been quite public.
Wait, are you recording this?
Yes.
Yes.
See, I record DBA-based recordings.
Yeah.
So I think, how are you planning to compensate me for this?
Well, I mean, you agreed to be on the show as our new award, so we're not. I mean, I can
consider this.
I never said that.
Consider this free press. Any press is good press.
We actually have two questions. So how much has your company earmarked in the annual budget for compensating others for their concepts? Kind of dovetails in. Thank you,
yeah.
Thank you, Nerdy Girl.
Okay, excellent. But I have a...
You're going to let him answer?
Well, go ahead. Go ahead and answer.
I did it first.
All right, your turn.
So, this whole thing has been really public. I just don't understand why you would choose to put yourself in something so clearly messy.
Really? Okay, that may be all the time we have for today.
I mean, this whole thing on Twitter is getting really bloody. Why would you want to get all up in that?
Are you saying you think I owe people money? Well, I'm afraid not.
All right. I think that's all the time we have for tonight. Thank you for coming on the show, Giant Slightly Used Tampon.
How about a little applause for our Giant Slightly Used Tampon?
Everybody in the chat room especially. Thank
and
you
Nerdy
very
Girl
much.
wants to know, scented or unscented?
Okay, then no, that's personal.
Wait, you did it wrong. Put it back.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Oh.
I beg your pardon.
Doesn't it have to go straight first?
You win. For the record, Fretwork wins 500 internets. All of them. That's all the internets. He wins them.
Oh, Wes.
I love you people so much, and this is the kind of thing that we live for. I mean, yeah, actually.
So.
It's off to commit mass murder. Yes.
I'm, maybe a quick diversion from all
Absolutely.
of this. I have a rant I can so easily slip into.
Go right ahead. You slip into your rant.
Anybody want to hear my rant this week? I'm particularly upset about it.
Of course they want to, and you've already got the look. Wow. Oh, I know what this is.
So, you might recall me saying several weeks ago now that that we had a corrupt database in our shop.
Okay, I remember this because I just heard about it again.
Yes. So, as a small recap, we discovered that the database was corrupt. I told them that it was GAM or PFS corruption, and they couldn't fix it. The vendor said, no, we're on it. Whatever. So they pulled a downtime, tried to get it fixed, couldn't get it fixed, got me out of bed in the middle of the night. I told them how to fix it, and yes, that's the one. That's the one where they kept restoring from the corrupt backup, exactly. So the fix was he was going to give me a fresh shell, right, a fresh schema, and I was going to copy as much data over there as I could, right?
I'll be right back. You go ahead.
So go to the beginning of this week, and that was like 3 or 4 weeks ago that we've been waiting for this shell, right? So, I get this. We get this email chain from the users this week saying, because I sent another email and said, guys, we need to get this fixed, and they said, but everything's working perfectly. There's no problem. Why do we still need to fix this? And I said, well, because the database is still corrupt. You still have to do something. That corruption is not going to go away on its own, right?
It'll heal up. It'll be fine.
Right. So, after a couple more rounds with this, the vendor said, give us a copy of the database and we'll fix it. I was like, no. We've gone down that route, right? You had your chance to fix it. I'm going to fix it. You guys are out. So I set apart to start copying this data over, building a process that'll copy the data. I wanted to get the process down, right? So that when we cut off all the users and took it offline, then I could copy it all over and then rename the database, and it'd be back up and it'd be fine, right? And I'm sure we would lose a little bit of data, but but what can I do, right? I mean, so because repair allowed data loss, guys, does not work on GAM, SGAM, or PFS pages. So on those page allocation pages, it doesn't work. You can't fix that. You have no choice but to copy data out. Period. All right? So, I'm over there messing with it, and I decided to take a backup of the database. That was last night, right? Take a backup of the database and restore it under a different name so that I can play with my so I can play with my process without live users being in there and everything, right? Without being blocked by live users and whatnot. So and it's a small data, it's like 3 gigs.
You wanted to play with it while
I wanted to play with it, yeah. So, I backed up the database, I restored it under a new name, ran CheckDB on it, it's still jacked up. Excellent, right? So I start getting my process down, and I pulled one of my DBAs over this afternoon. And now I ran I ran CheckDB on the production database that was on the same server, and it was still corrupt, of course, right? Because it doesn't go away, right? And then I ran it on the test database that I had restored, and then I called one of my DBAs over there because you don't see this kind of corruption very often, right? I wanted to show him what the errors looked like and how in a test database that you couldn't do a repair, allow data loss, and all that, right? That it would still be corrupt. And I showed it to him, and everything went just fine. And right then, while we were looking at it, both my test databases disappeared. Boom. I was like, whoa, what the hell? Did you see that? The database, he's like, what the hell? He goes, I didn't do it. I know you didn't do it, asshole. You're sitting right here. Yeah, with fixed by magic. I like that. So I was astounded. I was like, I have no idea what happened, right? So I restored it again under the same name, ran the CheckDB again. It was still corrupt, of course, right?
DBCC, pray the fuck this works.
Yeah, I know. And I'm coming to the rant part. So then I sent out an email saying, I don't know who the hell deleted my test databases off this thing, but you guys have been calling me 5 times a day for the last 3 days on this thing, and you've just put me back I don't know how long, right? And so I get this response back that says, we had a meeting with the vendor today and the customer. We've decided to let the vendor fix it. So the vendor got on today and took care of it. Begin rant. This kind of corruption does not go away. In fact, meet me at camera 2. This kind of corruption does not go away on its own. You are not going to fix it with Coca-Cola or Bisquick. The thing that pisses me off the most, okay, is not only did I drop everything I was doing for 2 days and did nothing but work on this goddamn problem, right? For them to rip the rug out from under me, right? And just say, well, we're giving it to them, you're out, right? But the vendor sent out an email shortly after that and said, I logged into the server and the first thing I did was run a DBCC and there is no corruption in the database. And then I noticed that there was a bunch of old data hanging around there, so I purged a bunch of the data and everything, and they're reporting that everything's running faster now.
My databases run a lot faster without data than I've noticed.
No.
Got a regular job that goes.
I can't stress this enough. The corruption was there when I left the office. I checked it myself. Corruption like this does not just go away. Okay? But here's what I've been able to deduce what actually happened. Because it's the only thing scientifically that could have happened, right? Because this isn't kumbaya or anything, assholes. This is actually science. I think what happened...
It's science, bitches.
I think what happened was because they're reporting that it was so much faster now, right? And at the beginning of the week, this is the key. This is what pulled it together for me. They were reporting that they weren't seeing any errors anymore. Well, we're not seeing the errors we were seeing 3 weeks ago. This is an app that's been around for quite some time. So I'm thinking, and if it's only 3 gigs, it moves a lot of data, right? The data moves out. So what I'm thinking is this. He didn't log in and run a CheckDB. He logged in and purged the old data. Then he ran CheckDB. He purged out all of that data and deallocated those pages that were corrupt. They disappeared from the allocation pages. Then he ran the CheckDB, and that cleared up the fragment. That cleared up the corruption. Purging data was not presented to us as an option. They said we needed to. They said we needed to store that. We needed to save as much data as possible, and then they let the vendor get on and purge data. You think that if they didn't tell me that we could get rid of any data before a certain date, that I wouldn't have done that right away because I knew that there was a good chance that it would have deallocated those pages and fixed the corruption without taking them offline.
Sorry.
I think I may have done that.
Sorry.
So pissed off. You know what? Try to get anything like that out of me again. Next time, I get to it when I get to it. I am not dropping everything I'm doing to fix your database only to have you do that to me again. Not going to happen. I do this for a living. Right? Corruption like that just does not go away. And I even told them that at the beginning of the week when they said, well, we're not seeing the errors anymore. And the first thing I said was, well, it's probably older data and you're just not hitting those pages anymore. Right? Mm-hmm. Try doing a select star from some of those tables and see what you get. Right? I'm done.
Do you feel better?
I don't know.
Should we switch back to camera 1 now?
You can switch back to camera 1 now.
Okay. Well.
I'm trying to. There it goes.
I actually have something completely different. Would you like to hear about something completely different?
Sure.
No.
It's going to take me a couple minutes to come down.
It's okay, this is ranty too. This was on your list. This was something we talked about recently.
It's hot in here all of a sudden.
And,
no, it's over here too.
And this
okay, good.
And this is something our man in the field, I believe, may be talking about. We'll go ahead and, well, if he's still in with us.
Wes, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
There we go.
You don't hear that very often either, do you?
Okay, Nick, you're up in a couple minutes. So, this week, surprisingly, Buck Woody posted a blog that basically said, in a very nice, very Buck Woody-ish kind of way, speakers don't be assholes. And he had observed people being unprepared and people canceling and people having big expectations and that kind of thing.
Mama, don't let your speakers grow up to be assholes.
I like that one. And this is something that we had been talking about because we have seen some of this, and we had, one of the major reasons that you were called in and you actually spoke at PASS was that there were so many cancellations that they were forced to go to you.
Yeah, I know, right?
Which I think is great. But before I say too much more, speaker is not equals to divas. I want to see if you'll go ahead and see if you can start booting Nick up, and I'm going to see if I can find.
You got the speaker things?
Yeah, it's down below. Let me just get under the table here real quick.
Yeah, don't put it so close to the microphone this time.
Oh, all right. There, happy now? Oh, you're supposed to be doing this. Well, I go buckwoody.com.
Is there really a buckwoody.com?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Resume, professional blog.
Yeah, I know, right?
It should be his latest if he's not all cloudy,
There's
cloudy,
bald
cloud.
porn.
Bonus rant.
It's where mass murderers go to learn their trade.
Conference speakers and the golden rule. I actually have to click on it. God damn it. We expected the SQL Sioux thing to take up the entire time.
You did.
Yes, I did. Alright, so this is what Buck Woody has to say. I've been a public speaker at events since 1980. It's never been my paid job, and I'm shortening this. I've been on TV, radio, stage, webcasts. I teach college as well. I've come to realize that speaking is the easy part. He puts a lot of work into his presentation, so and so. But this is the easy part. The hard part is putting the events together. Most folks have no idea how hard it is to create, advertise, pay for, staff, run, and tear down a technical event, even small ones. We've been involved in planning some of these things, so... The folks that do it get none of the glory, none of the praise, and usually all of the criticism. They deserve way more respect than they get, and the worst offenders are the speakers. Some speakers are rude, arrogant, and disrespectful of the event planning groups that run their sessions. Unrealistic expectations. I've seen some actively fight the requirements that these teams impose, from not delivering slides on time to not following the rules of the events the planners lay out, so forth and so on. This is exactly what we were talking about. Now, rather than us talk about it and steal all of Nick's thunder, let's go ahead and call him.
Okay, my Nick man. My little Nicky guy.
Is he your... Can I say this? Is he your Nicka?
Oh my.
Right on the line. Shaving it.
Oh.
In my mouth.
You just made my nipples hard.
Hello.
Sir Sequel!
What's up, my Nicka?
Well, you kind of pissed on my cornflakes there, huh?
Yeah, but I heard you like that.
Well, you know, it's not a bad thing.
So, no, she tried not to, so she just wanted to warm them up for you, dude.
All right, so here's my take on it, right? This year, as last year, I worked on the program committee. Mm-hmm. Last year, I worked on going through the slides that people submitted because they want them in their strict format with headers and footers and font sizes, etc. And it was challenging, but for the most part, everyone was great. But there were some people that you had to follow up on and say, we need your slides, we need your slides, we need your slides.
Mm-hmm.
Bit of a pain in the rear, but it is what it is. This year, I worked on the session selection committee, which meant that after speakers have been rated, myself and two other people sat and went through 175 BDI sessions and rated the abstracts for each and every one of them.
Wow.
We then had to go through, once we'd rated each one of those abstracts, we had to break them down into certain categories and choose the best one and alternates for each one of those categories. So that took an immense amount of time, right? I mean, this took literally, it was a lot of work over a period of weeks. Now, from this, I get a complete appreciation for the hard work that goes into the people that run these things. And the fact that Laurie Edwards won the that Passion Award is completely justified, trust me. But so we go through those 175 sessions. We have to choose, I think it was 7 or 10 and some alternates, right? Now, you come to find out that people don't show up or people cancel their sessions at the last minute.
Right.
I understand people have emergencies, things happen, right? I completely get that. People get sick, unfortunately people die, that kind of thing. This shit happens. But there were people that were actually in attendance at the summit that didn't do their session.
Did you say there were people at the summit who did not do their session?
That's what Alan Kinsel tweeted the other day.
He was the one in charge of that kind of thing, so I believe him.
Right, and he's like, and it's a disgrace, which launched a conversation on Twitter on, well, there needs to be some rules around this kind of thing, and, if you cancel this year, then you don't get to speak next.
Yeah, that's what I think.
As someone who spent a lot of time and put the effort into helping select the people and the sessions that got presented, it's incredibly disrespectful of mine and the other people's time.
Mm-hmm.
There were probably 20 people, I guess, that worked on the selection committee to choose what speakers and what sessions should actually go in, and hundreds of hours that went into that. And the fact that you got chosen, you were like one of the privileged few, because let's be honest, there's 175 abstracts, we're choosing, say, 10, that's not a lot. The privileged few really got chosen for this, and they have the disrespect and the temerity to turn it down and say, well, you know what, we accept, and we're going to get our free right to pass, and you know what, it's like, we're not actually going to present, we're not going to do it.
Yeah.
It's a shame on those fucking people, man.
Now, one of the things that gets me too is on the other side of that exact same thing is the ones that do get chosen and do speak, but come so incredibly ill prepared, like they just don't even care about it. They just show up and think that they can just put any crap out there, and they're going to be so well regarded that anybody's just going to fall all over them just for the just for the joy of getting to see them, that's equally insulting.
That is also insulting because, it's insulting to the people that have spent their hard-earned money because, a lot of people have to pay. You spend your hard-earned money and you go into a session and some joke is not taking shit seriously, and it's like, that's fucking shame. And that's fucking wrong. Again, I don't know how well feedback forms are able to take into account this kind of thing, but I don't know, maybe they should have some kind of monitor in each session that takes a look and says, I don't care what the feedback forms say, this guy was not ready. This presentation, he came in thinking that they were, king shit of the land, and they gave something that was absolutely crap.
And there was a good deal of debate on Twitter between, what you can't make a hard and fast rule that if you don't present, then you can't present it past next year, because what about emergencies, and what about this, and what about that?
Every case needs to be taken individually.
But you can put a general rule that says, especially if you are at the conference and you do not give your presentation, no, you're not going to. And it's one of those things where I think we are kind of entitled. I've spoken at PASS. I deserve to speak at PASS next year. Not if you're going to be a dick. I spoke at PASS last year. I didn't speak this year. And I was fine with that. I understand.
Well, I submitted 2 sessions to present. The sessions I submitted, and one of them has gone down really well. Every sequel set is printed in that. And you know what? They didn't get picked. And I was like, you know what? That's fine, because I know that there's other people out there that are really, really good that did get picked. But when I hear people getting picked, that pisses me, because I know I have a good session that people really respond to.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, that's really fucking annoying.
Yeah. Speaking is a privilege, not a right. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, exactly.
It really is. And especially, you know what? If you get picked, they pay for you to attend PASS. So it's not like you're doing this and you're not getting anything from it. And you might not be able to go to PASS otherwise. I mean, what's the value of PASS at the end of it? $1,500? That's $1,500 that effectively you're getting paid for doing this, even though you're not seeing the money in hand.
But you know what?
Coming out of your pocket.
I don't really care, because if I agree to give a talk, whether I'm getting paid or not, I personally am going to give the best talk that I can. I speak at user groups all the time, and I never get paid for that, right? But I agree to do it, and I'm not going to get up there and basically just take a big dump on stage because it's free. Nobody wants to come and see my face. People want to hear what I have to say. Well, no, they tell them Adam Mechanic is coming, and they bait and switch them and put me on stage, and they're too polite to walk out. But no, but it's even if it's free. You've agreed to do something. Don't piss on it. Do it, whether you're getting paid or not.
Absolutely not. I've only presented once in my every other city Saturday I've done Chicago and Atlanta and Utah. I'm getting paid to do it. Go out there, and I'll bust my ass, and I'll try and give the best damn presentation that I can. Now, hopefully it doesn't suck, but the feedback I've gotten has generally been pretty good, even when my demos blow up. So, it's like, you do what you do, but I'm just saying, these guys, there is some kind of financial aspect and politics. Right. And that's really not fair on the other attendees either.
Right. There you go.
Well, there you go. Well, man, I think we're going to shut down the show.
It's a good idea.
You close down the bar. We'll see you.
Leave on a high note.
Why is Wes flipping us off?
I guess he doesn't want us to go. It's okay. Post-show is coming next.
Yeah. Okay. We'll talk to you later, dude.
Bye.
Who's Lurker? Do we know Lurker?
That was Nick SirSequel on the Twitters. You can find him on sirsequel.net, and you really should. He's a smart... Wait, no. He's a fart smeller. There we are.
That's
Couldn't make my brain work
fart
wrong.
smeller.
All right, so let's see. We are not appearing anywhere, anytime soon, ever again, except here on Friday nights at 11 p.m. CST.
That's true.
Because we are tired and losing our voice and getting the sequel crud and the nerd flu.
Yes.
And what else? Watch for Sean's blog next week on Sequel Marklar. Just search the inner tubes for Sequel Marklar. You'll get it.
There's only one.
And I'm sure you'll have a nice little ranty rant about how not to teach during your webcast.
Yes.
That's for serious.
For Super Serial.
I've got an Unsequel Friday going on right now. It's a nice big vague topic, so go to midnightdba.com/Jen.
When were you going to tell me about this?
Right now.
Okay.
It's okay, you got till like Monday night.
Monday night to not do it?
Yep.
Okay, what's the topic on?
I don't remember. Let me go look. Hey, it's
good
late. I'm
pimping there,
tired.
baby.
I'm gonna leave it all generic.
So, what do your hoes look like? I don't remember. They're around here somewhere. I don't know.
Living in the intertubes, because we've had so much activity this week. You've got everything from, oh my god, Redgate's DBAinspace.com. I've been following along. Have you done any of the questions?
No, I haven't.
Really cute. Go to DBAinspace.com. They are sending a DBA into space. That's no euphemism or anything. The winner of the contest
To the moon, Alice.
gets a trip into outer space for reals. For reals. And they're doing it really cute. They've got really nice production values, and of course, Brad's a terrible actor.
Oh, yeah.
Bless your heart, but you are. And they've got him like zombified or something now. In the second or third episode, something happened to him. We don't know what yet. And so even his tweets, if you're following along live, he doesn't tweet normally anymore. He tweets in that sort of zombie-esque, he doesn't have pronouns and things. It's really kind of weird. So that's a lot of fun.
He saw the prototype for the Giant award.
Yes, he did. And it kind of freaked him out. But anyway, Unsequel Friday is on living on the inner tubes, and that's wide open. Whatever strikes you, be it community, sequel, family, trolls, accusations, etiquette, or anything that you feel fits into the topic.
Jesus Christ, I didn't want your life story. A simple little living in the inner tubes would have been
That was it, but there was an interjection there about Redgate, and now I'm back again.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and I got Redgate tools at work now!
So, you can find us at midnightdba.com, and me at /DBArant, her at /Jen, me on Network World at Sequel Marklar. You can find us both at petri.co.il.
You can find us both at itbookworm.com, which is becoming a lot more of a grooving kind of place lately.
Yeah.
And that's all we got.
Alrighty.
How'd you like that?
Yeah.
Alright,
So-
say the thing. Make the noise. No, say the thing. Say the thing. Say the thing.
Play us out, Fredward.
Say the thing.
Party on Wayne.
Party on Garth.
This is the stylings of our own Alan Hurt.
Alan Hurt, who will be coming out with a couple of new books. Alright.
In MP3 format.
In a B3 format. Woo! We still post to Petri? Ostensibly, yeah.
Yeah.